Imagine Europe before nations, before capitals, before borders were ever drawn. Long before roads connected cities or laws defined power, this continent was ruled by nature alone. Ice dominated the land. Vast plains stretched beneath endless snow, while violent winds cut across open ground with nothing to stop them. Much of Europe lay silent and frozen, locked beneath thick sheets of ice. Survival here was never guaranteed. Life existed only through endurance, adaptation, and strength. This was Ice Age Europe, not a birthplace of comfort, but a testing ground for life itself. This is Mr. M Historian, where the history of civilization is explored from its very beginnings, where environment shapes survival, survival shapes society, and nothing in human history is ever as simple as it seems. The Ice Age began roughly 2.6 million years ago, and did not end until around 11,700 years ago. It was not a single frozen moment, but a repeating cycle of advancing and retreating cold. Over thousands of years, massive glaciers expanded across northern Europe, sometimes stretching for hundreds of kilometers. These ice sheets carried immense weight. They flattened landscapes, carved valleys, redirected rivers, and reshaped the continent at its core. Much of Europe's modern geography was forged not by human ambition, but by slow-moving ice. Conditions varied across the continent, but nowhere was truly gentle. Northern Europe remained buried under ice for most of the year, making permanent settlement nearly impossible. Central Europe became a cold, dry world of frozen grasslands where forests once stood. Trees struggled to survive, and the ground stayed hardened by frost for long periods. Southern Europe, spared the worst of the cold, became a refuge. These regions offered food, shelter, and relative stability for animals and humans alike. Sea levels dropped dramatically, exposing land bridges and coastlines that today exist only beneath the ocean. This frozen Europe was home to creatures built for survival. Woolly mammoths moved across the plains in great herds, protected by thick fur and heavy layers of fat. Woolly rhinoceroses used their powerful horns to clear snow in search of food. Cave lions hunted across open tundra, while massive cave bears claimed shelters deep within the land. Reindeer, bison, musk oxen, and giant deer thrived in this cold world, perfectly adapted to conditions that would challenge any unprepared species. Humans were present too. Long before modern societies, Neanderthals mastered life in Ice Age Europe. Strong, intelligent, and highly skilled, they hunted large animals, crafted stone tools, and relied on fire to survive freezing temperatures. They lived in small, cooperative groups where shared knowledge meant survival. In this world, isolation was fatal. Community was essential. Around 45,000 years ago, modern humans entered Europe. Their arrival did not immediately replace those already there. For thousands of years, modern humans and Neanderthals lived side by side. They competed, learned, and even interbred. Over time, Neanderthals disappeared, likely due to environmental pressures and competition. Yet they were never fully erased. Their genetic legacy remains present in modern human DNA. Survival in Ice Age Europe demanded constant innovation. Humans followed migrating herds across vast distances. They hunted dangerous animals, using teamwork and carefully crafted weapons. Clothing made from animal skins protected them from deadly cold. Shelters were built from wood, stone, bones, and hides. Fire was central to life, providing warmth, protection, and the ability to cook food. Caves offered refuge, not just as shelter, but as strategic centers of survival during the harshest seasons. Yet this was not a world without culture. Deep inside caves, far from light and warmth, humans painted animals that defined their existence: mammoths, horses, bison. These images reveal something critical. Even under constant threat, early humans thought beyond survival. They told stories, passed knowledge, and expressed belief through art. Tools became sharper and more advanced. Spears improved. Stone blades became precise. Bone needles allowed clothing to be sewn, fitted, and refined. Innovation was not optional, it was survival. Around 11,700 years ago, the ice began to retreat. Temperatures slowly rose. Glaciers melted. Sea levels climbed. Forests returned to lands long buried under snow. Many Ice Age giants could not adapt quickly enough and vanished from the world. Mammoths and woolly rhinoceroses became symbols of a disappearing age. Humans, however, adapted once more. As the climate stabilized, human life changed fundamentally. Hunting and gathering gradually gave way to farming. Temporary shelters became permanent homes. Small camps evolved into villages. Villages grew into complex societies. The foundations of civilization were laid not in comfort, but through thousands of years of survival under ice. Although the Ice Age ended long ago, its influence remains visible across Europe. Mountains, valleys, lakes, and coastlines still carry the marks of ancient glaciers. The Ice Age was an era of hardship, but it was also a proving ground for humanity. The Europe we know today was shaped by ice endurance and the decisions of those who survived one of the most demanding chapters in human history. If this video added value to your understanding of history, consider liking it and subscribing for deeper, well-researched history that connects the past to the world you live in today.